I think that the challenge of implementation and the changing the adult behavior is the greater challenge, or the greatest challenge of all.
We still don't have the capacity or the will to change what it is that we're doing with reading early on. And so consequently, unless we make those significant changes, we're not only going to lose the dyslexic, and certainly that's my primary concern, but I'm also concerned about these other children, these other struggling readers.
The Barksdale Reading Institute was established in January of 2000 with an endowment from my brother Jim and his late wife Sally Barksdale. It was endowed with $100 million. The express purpose being to teach children how to read so that when they leave the third grade, they're reading at grade level, whatever that might be. Debatable issue. Working in the poorest performing schools here in Mississippi. We work with kindergarten through third grade faculty. We are essentially involved in professional development. That's our core mission, is to change the way teachers teach children how to read. Now, we've been doing this for 6 years. By the end of this year, we will have spent in excess of $44 million of those $100 million. We are not seeing sufficient results. As Jim Barksdale has said, we could have sent every child to Harvard for those $44 million that we can say with confidence would not be at grade level but for us. After putting some wonderful people who are very skilled into these schools, we still have so many instances of teachers who will not change and who react emotionally and adversely to this professional development.
If you show people objective information, non-philosophically driven, that for these kids, these interactions work very productively, and where a youngster was at the 10th percentile in reading is now at the 60th percentile in reading, and you can show that time after time, but you still see substantial resistance, it begins to tell us that many of these issues are way beyond the kid issues. These are adult issues, fascinating adult issues where human beings are latching on to their beliefs, their assumptions, their egos, their careers, rather than looking very clearly at what works, what doesn't, making sure people know it works, measuring it, and getting the kids up to snuff.
And it's not just schools of education. It's the whole network of policymakers, administrators within education, their relationships with schools of education, and the requirements that are imposed on schools of education by concerned citizens in the business community, in the community of parents and families who want to have their children educated. They are allowing the educational system that prepares teachers to get away with not meeting their public responsibility.
The real problem, the tragedy, is that even now we see that school districts are not fully embracing the most effective methods of teaching reading to children. They are not doing it, and they need more help, they need more guidance in making better decisions about the instructional materials they use, and also the kind of professional development that teachers need in order to be effective. Because teachers do want to be successful. They do want to help kids, but they're not being given the chance. We need to raise public awareness, and we need to change the way that decisions are made in schools. Parents can be a loud voice. They can be terrific advocates, not just for various kinds of activities in a school, but specifically advocates for curriculum reform to make sure that reading is being taught in the most effective way.